Quinn, let's start out with you. The 10th annual BGA Championship. Sometimes the disasters, sometimes the BGA, sometimes both,
Right.
sometimes neither.
Yes.
But in a decade, you have been able to masterfully craft a course here in your front, back, side yard, everything. What makes you keep pushing through to do this?
Yeah, that's a great question. To think that we've been doing this in some form or fashion for 10 years is pretty incredible. Just to think back on and all the memories that we've made. The group of people that get together for this are always, just such a great time. And honestly, it's if anything, it's an excuse for a bunch of people to get together that otherwise wouldn't. And I'm always going to happily put in the work to get the course ready and to host and to get the scoring and everything put together. Just because once everybody's out here playing, then it's an actual tournament. Feels like an actual tournament. There's nothing better. It's like Christmas in July.
It's like a family reunion of sorts.
Yes.
John, you're back-to-back champions. How many? First of all, just a few ancillary questions. How many times have you been to this tournament now?
I think this is only I know it's my third BGA, but I can't remember if it's my fourth, either the fourth or fifth BGA tournament. So I haven't been playing very long, but I wish I'd been playing for longer. So
well, but now you're back-to-back champions.
now I'm back to back up there in the annals of BGA history.
That's
with
right.
names like Quinn, Eaton, and Jay Nimmo.
And that's
Well,
it. Yeah.
And that's quite a storied history.
Mm-hmm.
John, another question for you. Walk me through maybe, as a back-to-back champion, you understand this course, you understand this yard maybe even better than the Eatons do. So if you could just walk me through what are maybe some of the more daunting shots that you have to take here. I mean, we've seen this course time and time again, just eat golf balls.
Mm-hmm.
What are the toughest holes and how do you navigate them?
Well, any of the holes around the pond, you more or less have a forced carry, especially 17 traditionally doesn't have a drop zone, so that's a forced carry 70 yards. 10's traditionally very difficult, another forced carry, and you have to be accurate with the yardage because you come up short, you're in the water. If you go too long, you're in the woods. So any of those holes around the pond, I mean, I always lose at least one ball a year, and I did. So that's how it happens.
That's a tradition now.
That's tradition now.
Some donations. Yeah.
Some donations. If you're not coming out here with a Walmart bag full of shag balls, then you're not doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Shoe buddy fields is always a great test. Just the grass is different out there. You're playing in different kind of conditions. It really is two different worlds from that side of the course to the front and the backyard. So that has its challenges. Island greens. You never really know what kind of kick you're going to get. A lot of what playing out here is trying to get it close to the hole and hope you get the right bounce. So
Quinn, walk me through. Last year was the first time for a hole in one. This
Yes.
year, 2 holes in one.
Yes.
Very rare. Very hard to do.
It's considered very rare because one could argue that it's harder to make a hole in one out here than it is a regular golf course, just because our greens, which Blake Sandlin at one point described more as browns, which is a pretty good description.
Good description.
There was one hole in one last year done by David Jack Morris on the whole pet cemetery, which is where all my childhood pets are buried. So the spirit of them, I'm sure, was happy to see that hole in one. And then,
Well, the spirit of those animals probably carried the ball.
Sure, possibly. One could say that. This year, 2 hole in ones by DJ Pig and Tyler Brockman, who played together in the first 2 rounds. It's a storybook thing right there for 2 people in the same group to make 2 hole in ones, and for this to be going on for 10 years, and now there's 3 hole in ones in the last 2. And there weren't any prior to that. It's a special moment for sure.
It means you're having repeat customers, 1.
Yes.
2, it also means people are starting to learn and navigate what's become a daunting course in Marshall County.
Possibly, yes. I could agree.
Another question for you, Quinn. 10 years ago, I know it's hard to think back. That's 2014. You're, I believe, a junior in high school at that point.
Yeah, sophomore, junior, yeah.
You start carving out what this is going to look like. How does that... Do you draw that on notebook paper, graph paper? Like, how do you draw this out?
Yeah, it started with drawings. I've started using Google Earth and mapping things out a little bit more like that, just to see, if holes go back towards some of the more of the property that he was talking about, like Shoe Buddy Fields. And originally, it wasn't as large of scale. Most of the holes were in the front back side yard, and it's expanded every single year. I try to do something small, but an upgrade every single year that we have this. This year were our new flag sticks that or flags on the flag sticks. But it's crazy to think about how it started. It was probably 4 or 5 of us using little plastic cups, not even golf holes, just digging enough to where the plastic cup could be in there, not a regulation size hole.
Incredible.
A little American flags that are probably that far off the ground were our flag sticks. So obviously it's come a long way since then, but it's crazy because 4 or 5 people that got started back in 2014, a lot of those guys are still playing in the event today, 10 years later. So it's fun. I look forward to this every year, and it's great to see everybody once we get together.
Last question, guys, and I'd love to get both of you, both of your answers. How do you keep this going? How do you continue it? Where does it get better, and what keeps you coming back?
For me, coming back, it's a fun event. I mean, it's really, there are a ton of serious tournaments in Western Kentucky over the summer. Obviously, we all know that, and that's part of Quinn's job, is giving us advance notice so that things like State Am, State Open, Urban Cobb, West Kentucky Open, things like that. A lot of us play in those things, and so if we can plan around them, and then also 10 years now, a lot of us are out of college into careers, and so we're spread out not only across the state but across the country. So that advance notice helps a lot, and then also, I mean, just like I said, it's kind of a reunion in ways, meeting people that you spent a lot of good times with, and even if it's just one day, one morning, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and to think that it's already been 10 years, thinking of what it'll look like 10 years from now, I don't plan on stopping the tournament anytime soon. As long as I can do it, I'm going to be doing it, just because it's a lot of work on the front end. But like I said, once the tournament gets going, it kind of runs itself. I mean, I interact a couple times here and there, but yeah, I would love to see some improvements. I'd love to see some puttable greens. I don't know how exactly we would do that, but at one point maybe that could happen. But just need some maybe some sponsorships in that area. That would be helpful if we could upgrade some of the facilities and the mowers and things like that. But if it stays like this though too, I think everybody would be fine with that. It's a lot of fun. I'd love to see it become more advanced, but if it stays like this, I think everybody's going to be happy, and myself as well.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.